Here in Dawson Springs and across Hopkins County, we've had a great tragedy over the weekend. We're working to recover from that now, and we have had a huge outpouring of support and volunteers from the National Guard to the Governor's Office of State Police, Madisonville Fire Department and Police Department, different counties and communities sending help, and we've gotten a lot done. But we've got a long ways to go to recover. We've got our roads cleared. We're getting people out and taken care of. We've got warming centers set up for those who are displaced at the old Nebo School, St. Charles Community Center. But right now, honestly, we've got too many people here. We're trying to restore power and gas and save lives. And so many people are coming into the community. Some of them want to help or bring supplies, but we're really getting our roads clogged up right now. So we're asking for anybody that, if you're just coming to see the devastation and destruction, stay home. It's just hindering the operations. If you're coming to bring supplies, instead of bringing them to Dawson Springs, we're taking supplies at Manufacturing Supply at 1200 Nebo Road in Madisonville and at Clark's True Value. The outpouring of support and supplies, we've had over 7 truckloads delivered already. And we will use all that. We just can't take it right here, right now. So we'll be transporting it from those storage facilities to here. We'll continue with our search and recovery operations. Nick is going to give some information out on contacts for people who want to volunteer, whether that's individuals or for people with equipment that want to come help. But again, right now we are overwhelmed with people trying to come into the community. So we'd ask that you give us some time to get things cleared so that we can continue the rescue and recovery operations. So now I'll introduce Nick Bailey, our EMA director, to give some more information.
And could you give us your name, spelling, and title?
It is Nick, first name N-I-C-K. Bailey is the last name, B-A-I-L-E-Y. And I'm the Director of Emergency Management here in Hopkins County.
Can you tell us how many people are missing?
So we are still running our missing person list. It's upwards of 100 still. We're trying to cross-reference all of our lists. There's a lot of people that left town that didn't check in, and we're unaware of where they are. They might be safe, they might not. That's our goal, is every name checked off on the list. We've actually been searching since the incident happened. We've had 2 K9 teams today, 2 certified K9 teams come in today and work with our on-the-ground rescuers. We've had 137 personnel today alone searching. That's not counting what came in yesterday, and it was upwards of 100 yesterday searching.
Do you know how many have been killed from this storm?
So our county coroner's here, and he'll be able to answer that question for you.
Okay.
Do you know how many people have been rescued so far?
There have been hundreds rescued.
Do you know of any today?
There hasn't been any today as far as rescues.
As we keep going, do you expect this more to be a rescue effort or
So
search and recovery?
I expect it to be more of a recovery effort the longer you go into an incident.
How long do you expect? I mean, the devastation is just enormous. How long do you expect this to last?
So this event we're not talking in terms of days, we're talking in terms of weeks and months. So rebuilding this community is going to be a long-term thing.
Do you have a sense of when the power is going to be restored?
They are actively working on that. Kentucky Utilities is in today. The main goal is to get the transmission lines up and then start working some of the distribution. But that is, obviously, it's going to take a while because a lot of the distribution lines were actually tore down and they're mangled from the tornado.
So it could still be days?
We're still talking days for power. For a lot of areas. Now, there might be some of the main areas start coming on, but it's going to be days for power.
You know about water?
We're working on getting the water system back up and going. That should be hopefully sometime today.
As far as supplies go, I know that you, Judge Executive Whitfield mentioned, you guys have been getting truckloads, so you are not short of people reaching out, wanting to help, but what is it that this community really, really needs right now?
So what we're asking is for anybody that is wanting to help, wanting to send supplies, if you're looking for a family member that you have not had contact with since the storm, if you've touched base, what we would ask you to do, call other family members, verify they haven't heard from that person. But if you have not, we've got a hotline that will be open first thing in the morning, starting at 8 a.m. And let me give you that number to that hotline for people to call in. And there'll be a phone bank, and people will be answering those phones. It is 270-825-5024. And again, that's for people that are wanting to come help. We need to get you registered. If we can use you, we'll find something for you. Okay. And also for massive donations, because we've had so much pouring in. That's where we're trying to ask people to go through this process so we can kind of keep it as a coordinated effort. But if you have people that are missing, please call this number in the Hopkins County area only. This is just for Hopkins County. I mean, we've been fielding calls for other areas, but for Hopkins County, that is the number we're asking people to call.
And this is just a missing person's hotline
If they lived in the impacted areas, for them to call, for family to call if they have not made contact. We're asking for them to reach out to family and kind of do a phone tree with family and make sure nobody's heard from them before they tie up the phones. But if they have not, they can reach out to that number and we will try to cross-reference the list.
Okay.
And if they have left town and they didn't let anybody know, we're asking them to also to call that so we can verify they're not on one of our missing person list and verify they're okay, and we'll check them off that list.
Just for clarification, you said there's still over 100 people unaccounted for. Is that for the county or for Dawson Springs?
That is for the Dawson Springs area.
And the people who are being housed at the state parks, are they staying in cottages?
The state park, yeah, they are in the state park area. They're actually being housed inside the state park.
Is it like a lodge type?
So they.
Yeah. So the state has opened up Pennyroth State Park for these people to come and stay that have been dislodged, and they're staying in the cottages or in the rooms in the lodge itself. They have several different areas they can put people in, and talked to the governor today, and they are going to open that up for an indefinite period of time because we know it's going to take a long time to get those people back.
Do you have any sense of how many are staying at Pennyroyal right now?
I don't have a number, but we've pretty much filled it up.
Is that just locally from Hopkins County, or are you letting other people in from other areas?
It's not our state park. The state has decided to let them in, and as far as I know, it's all been people coming from Dawson Springs to the state park.
Do you have about a number of how many people have been displaced?
Hundreds upon hundreds, and many of them are not at the state park. They're with other family members or friends. But we've got almost an entire city that's been displaced at this point, especially when you consider there's no electricity or power. So or electricity or water, even those houses that are still intact don't have the utilities that they need. And again, we don't know when that's going to be restored. The electricity we expect to take probably weeks for most of the locations, but it may be a month for some of the outlying areas to get fully restored. We are working diligently on the water side with our water departments, and they will hopefully have most of that restored as well, but it would not surprise me if there are not some areas that they don't get to for a couple days, because the extent of damage is not only massive, but it's also unknown at this point.
Are there places that you have not yet been to that you suspect have been damaged? I know it's a small community, 2,700 people, but I mean, are there places that you're still checking out for the first time?
No, I think we have covered at least every residence that was damaged.
If people find any like sensitive belongings to other people or maybe like pets, is there any place they can bring them to?
We've got the Humane Society has taken some of the animals. We're working on a couple other facilities. Hopefully people aren't going out and going through the houses at this point. And that's what we're asking, is people not to come into the community yet going through, because we just don't need that. The individuals that lived in those houses are there going through them right now.
We've spoke to some people earlier who are concerned about looting. Can you speak to the security of the area?
Yes, the Hopkins County Sheriff's Department, the state police, the National Guard are all here to control that looting. So if you're planning on coming in this community to try to take things that don't belong to you, stay out. It will not work out well.
Have there already been reports of looting happening?
Yes.
How many?
Yeah, we'll have Chief Opelek if you want to ask him some questions about that. But before he comes up, I want to ask, We've talked about the things that we're getting and that we need. One thing that we need in this community right now is people to pray for those who have been displaced and for those who have lost loved ones, because we know, and the coroner can talk about how many, but we have lost people in this county, in this city of Dawson Springs. Pray for us to get through this. Chief?
I'm Chief Mike Opelek with the Dawson Springs Police Department. The spelling is O-P-A-L-E-K.
Can you tell us about the situation happening where the homes have been destroyed and this looting that's taken place?
As far as the looting goes, yes, I have had several reports of looting last night. Hopkins County Sheriff's Department, Sheriff Sanderson, along with Kentucky State Police, they've stepped up and they're going to really help us out a lot with the looting that has happened and anything in the future. Tonight and into the future, we're going to have plainclothes officers walking the streets. And I talked to the county attorney today, and he advised that anybody caught looting, caught going through these houses that are not theirs, will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Has anyone been arrested or detained?
At this time, no, there hasn't been any arrests made.
How many cases of looting are there?
I can't give you a number exactly on that just yet.
Several?
Yes.
20, 30, 40? I mean, it's just
No.
an estimation.
Right now we're looking at maybe between 10 and 20, but we're really early in this game.
And do you know if those are people from outside the community who are coming in, or?
No, I don't.
I mean, let's step out of the official shoes for a minute here. I mean, we're all human, especially after something like this. How does this make you feel, knowing that after such a tragedy, a catastrophic event for a community like this, that this is something that you also have to keep on your radar?
Well, to be honest with you, this is how I feel. We have the highest level of humanity in Dawson Springs, people coming from all ends of the earth to help us in Dawson Springs. And at the same time, we have the lowest level of humanity. Trash that are breaking into people's houses and stealing their belongings after they just lost everything. So that's how it makes me feel.
Thank you. That's perfect, yeah.
Bring up the corner real quick.
Okay.
I'm Dennis Mayfield, D-E-N-N-I-S M-A-Y-F-I-E-L-D, and I'm the Hopkins County Court.
Can you give us any information on how many fatalities there have
At
been?
this time, we have confirmed 13 fatalities in Dawson Springs. We made recovery yesterday of 11 individuals, and today we made recovery of 2 individuals. They range from, I think, the age of 34 up to the age of 86. And the way the devastation is, we're trying our best to have everybody accounted for. It's going to take a while. And if anybody, again, has any information on an individual that might be missing, again, contact that hotline number that Nick gave you just a moment ago, and we'll make an effort or have somebody get out there and do the best they can to make a recovery. Somebody asked me, are we in a rescue or recovery? I'm afraid now we're probably in a recovery mode. And so I just hope and pray that that's not so, but more than likely we are in a recovery mode instead of a rescue mode at this time.
Do you think the cold temperatures are coming into play with the severity of the situation? I mean, no power, no nothing, and it's freezing out at night.
I don't think so. I think what we're dealing with when we make the recovery is blunt force trauma from the tornado itself.
How many fatalities do you expect there to be?
There's no way I can say that. I can't even guess on that.
Based on the destruction, I mean, it's...
I tell you what, based on the destruction, I don't think, we could have anybody to survive, but thank God that there have been those that have survived.
Is there a plan to release names of those who?
Later on, I'll be glad to release the names. I want to make sure that all family is notified before any names is released.
Are you aware of anyone in critical condition at this point?
I do not know that. I think some has been transported out of state to various hospitals. They've been life-flighted. There are some that are still over here in Mattisville, and I can't even tell you the numbers on those.
Are you from the Dawson Springs area?
I'm not originally from the Dawson Springs area. I have been down to Dawson Springs, have many close friends down there. When I first moved to Hopkins County, I was a youth director at the First Baptist Church in Dawson Springs, so I do know several individuals down there.
How does it make you feel to?
It hurts. It hurts to see other people hurting like they're hurting right now. And I'll reiterate about what somebody said. The best thing that anybody can do right now is to pray for all of these individuals and all the families that have been touched by this horrible situation.
Were all the fatalities in Dawson? I know we got Ilsley and Barnsley.
Yes, all the fatalities are in Dawson.
And are you seeing members of the same household in that
The
fatality list?
I've seen 2 sisters, and I've seen a husband and wife. The rest of them are individual.
Get back to work.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So again, I just want to thank everybody for the love and support that we've been shown. People coming out to help, for sending materials, and for their prayers. And I just want to leave the people that have been affected by this a verse that will hopefully lift their spirits. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed." Right now, our spirits are crushed, but we'll come back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.